Hi everyone, my name is Katie and I did my research on the adverse impacts to postnatal development caused by maternal exposure to PFCs during pregnancy. So I decided to create an educational brochure that would be put in doctors' offices, hospitals, midwives' offices, basically anywhere that expecting mothers could come across it. So I'm just going to go through this brochure with you. I pulled different things from my research that could be put in a way for the general public to clearly understand what PFCs are, what their negative impacts are, and how they can avoid these chemicals to protect their family and future family. So the front of my brochure is how to protect your baby from PFCs. And on the first flap, I start by having a section on what are PFCs, or perfluorinated compounds. So I'm going to go through this with you. PFCs are man-made chemicals that cannot be found naturally in nature. They are fluorinated organic compounds with a carbon backbone. Long-chain PFCs are substances that can repel oil, grease, and water. These chemicals are very stable and therefore persistent and bioaccumulative in the environment, animals, and humans. These pollutants are detected in humans worldwide, and in some cases can take years for the body to rid itself of the chemical. There are over 5,000 types of PFCs in use, and they have a widespread distribution. There is still very little known about these chemicals, even before they are introduced to be used by the public. Where can these chemicals be found? So PFCs are a great surfactant and used in many industrial and consumer products as stain or grease or water repellents. These chemicals can be found in carpets, clothing, cooking utensils, non-stick coatings, fast food wrappers, and contaminated food products. So basically all around us. Some common brands that use PFCs are Teflon, Scotchgard, Stainmaster, and Gore-Tex. So why is this important to me? There is a known transfer of PFCs from mother to child. PFCs make it through the placental sac and can be found in the umbilical cord, showing a maternal to fetal transfer. During the past 50 years, the production of these synthetic compounds has increased dramatically. This means that the amounts of these toxins found in humans has also greatly increased, along with their negative effects. Types of PFCs, such as PFOAs, were long ago considered carcinogenic by the EPA and other governmental agencies, yet they are still permitted in everyday products. The federal and state governments are not protecting the public to the extent that scientists recommend. Okay, so the inside of my brochure looks like this. That's everything I just went through. And then on the flap here, I talk about the adverse impacts of PFCs. There is evidence of numerous adverse impacts in children and mothers with high and low levels of PFCs. Negative impacts include immunosuppression, suppression of natural killer cells and disease resistance, lower birth weight, slow postnatal growth, increased age of pubertal attainment, and increase in liver and other organ weights. Some tips to avoid PFC exposure. Although it can be difficult to fully stop PFC exposure, there are various ways to reduce it. You can cut back on greasy, packaged, and fast food, avoid nonstick kitchen utensils and pans, find products that haven't been treated with stain resistance, avoid clothing that is labeled as stain or water repellent. Instead, choose cotton and wool clothing when available. Use real plates and silverware, and filter tap water before drinking. And then on the back side, I just included some further resources for the mothers to go on and read more about PFC exposure. So I really enjoyed researching all of this and creating this brochure, and I hope I've taught you something today so that you can help protect yourself from these chemicals as well. Thanks.